Hey guys, it's Tim. And if you guys remember this bag, this was my prototype trail running backpack that led to the pattern in the video series that I sell on learnmakeYourOwnGear.com. What I'm going to be doing today is actually, I've never actually gone back and remade the straps for this pack. So I'm actually going to be seam ripping the whole thing, or a lot of it, removing these straps and then remaking them in the newer style that matches my pattern. I wanted to just make a quick video about deconstructing bags and seam ripping and some of the practices that I use. So you can see that this bag was fully finished. All the seams are bound. They're multiple stitched. There's bar tacks for webbing and attachments. And this was obviously a finished bag that certainly I could use. It's just I don't like the arrangement of the pockets on the straps, so I find that I don't use this bag. And rather than just remaking the whole thing, I'm gonna take the effort to seam rip it and redo portions of it. So a little bit about the tools, right? Is I think a lot of people will have a seam ripper like this, right? You can pick these up at, rather cheaply at fabric stores and craft stores. And this tool is very valuable for tight, small stitch lines and getting into small places, but it's not great for a job this big. So it is worth having one of these. I keep this right next to my sewing machine because it's easy to grab and it's small. But some other tools that I think that you might want to look at is an adult-sized seam ripper. This one is obviously a lot bigger point to it. It's a lot thicker. But for bags like this where I use a longer stitch length and also for undoing bar tacks and things, a real seam ripper is very helpful, and it's a lot more stout. You don't feel like you're bending it. You don't feel like you're going to break it. And this thing cuts very, very well. It's a lot sharper than this one, but admittedly this one's a lot older. Some other tools that I find really useful is an Exacto knife, right? If you're worried about tearing the fabric or tearing, with a seam ripper, or getting rid of bar tacks between webbing, an Exacto knife is very, very helpful because the blade is so thin and they are extremely sharp. Just be very careful because obviously you can slice your hand really, really good with an Exacto knife. And then the last tool that I use, and I use this tool for a lot of different applications, and not just for gear making, but really all over in the garage and all kinds of things. This is an old dental pick. And I picked this up at an old hardware surplus store. I wish I had bought more of them because they are so useful, but it's got a straight pick on one end and a hooked pick on the other end. And I find that I use this a lot for a lot of different things. So if you ever do come across dental picks like this, I highly recommend grabbing a handful of them. I'm constantly looking for these because they are just so useful. I'm sitting down here in my basement on the couch, and I got my seam ripping tools in my bag. I keep a trash bag right next to me just because obviously you make a mess doing this. And then another tool that's very helpful obviously is good lighting. So because I have this video light with a softbox, I use that over my shoulder, and the diffused light from that softbox really helps eliminate shadows. So you can see your thread, especially on black on black. You can get diffused light coming through a window with sheer curtains or on a cloudy day, and it is very helpful for projects like this where you're not constantly straining your eyes. So sorry, it's going to be a little shaky. I'm zoomed in here a little bit to show you what I'm doing. So when I start this, once I decide where I'm going to start seam ripping at, what I'll usually do is I'll just clip one side of the seam with the seam ripper. I'll break one of the stitches, and then I only work on the other side, right? So what I try to do is keep the back thread, the one that was clipped, that it's not my working thread, I keep that long. And with my seam ripper, I just tuck underneath each stitch and I try to pull the thread free, right? And I'll do that for 6 to 8 stitches, and then I'll clip this top working thread. And that way I don't have just a gazillion little bits of thread. So you just put your seam ripper underneath the stitch and you kind of wiggle it and pull the thread free. I don't know if that's the right way of doing seam ripping. I think, the seam ripper is designed to go between your 2 layers of fabric and tear every single thread. But when you do that, you have a lot of cleanup because every single stitch is broken on both sides, and you have these tiny little pieces of thread you got to deal with. So I like working on one side and trying to keep a really long thread, and then have individual threads that aren't nearly as long that can just get picked out and thrown away. Now I'm starting to do the spacer mesh. Now, spacer mesh is frustrating because it's got a thick, it's got a padding to it, so the stitches really bury down inside inside it, and it's hard to get underneath and rip the stitches. So what I'm finding is far easier for, taking the spacer mesh off is I kind of pull these panels apart, and then I'll put my seam ripper right inside there and loosen these threads. And if it, every handful of threads, I just have to cut them because it becomes too much material too much thread to pull through the holes. But for every few, you can kind of just break them free and, wiggle them free, and it doesn't create a huge mess. All right, so with a little patience, we've got this all disconnected. You can see I've got the yoke and the whole vest strap assembly taken out of the bag. The bag is open, so I can reattach, and I've got the binding out of the way. So in this video, we kind of covered some of the tools to do this and deconstruct bags and some of the techniques that I use. So I hope that video was helpful. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you picked up a tool that you may want to go out and buy. These are all relatively cheap things to pick up, so it's worth having on hand. Stay tuned, and in the future, I'll show connecting all this back together and redoing this bag, matching the new pattern.